So you know how this drill goes. The doors open probably about 5 o'clock. They're putting up the signs on the walls. That's what you're seeing. They're testing the sound system. They have the stage ready. The podium is all set, and some people are starting to trickle in. I do know that Crystal Peoples-Stokes is here, and she's going to be speaking with us briefly to talk about her race. Once again, she is a long-term member of the New York State Assembly, and so she's going to walk on over and join us live now. Crystal, thanks so much for joining us. We're streaming on WGRZ+, so we got all the time in the world, but let's talk about you. First of all, introduce yourself to people who don't know. How long have you been in the New York State legislature?
I am Assembly Majority Leader Crystal Peoples-Stokes, and I have had the honor of serving my constituency for the last 20 years, and I am super pleased to go back.
And this year, no opponent.
No opponents this year, and I'm grateful for that as well. I mean, it's not a given. Anybody who has a desire has the right to run. And I did not end up with an opponent, and so I'm really grateful for that.
So all those years right now in the New York State Assembly, and there's been so much turnover. We saw what happened with Byron Brown. He ended his term as mayor. At running this time, do you think that you'll complete your term, or?
Well, I feel like absolutely I will complete my term. And running this time, because I was unopposed, gave me the opportunity to spend all of my time, all of my fundraising efforts, all of the work that I put in, all of the phone banking, all the talking to voters, all the visiting the churches on the ticket. And beginning with the top of the ticket, Vice President Kamala Harris and Governor Walz.
Let's talk about the top of the ticket before we come back down to local. We're seeing a woman of color, against a former president. So you have a vice president against a former president. And I know that we are Democratic Party headquarters, so our conversation will be partisan because this is where we are. My colleague Ron Plants is with the Republicans, so he will talk about that angle. But why Kamala Harris? Why is she good for this country? Why is she good for New York State?
Well, I would say, why not? Because her campaign was about maintaining the legacy that my people, I'm literally 4 generations away from enslaved people. To be in a country where there is a constitution and a rule of law is what allowed my ancestors to fight through the ability to get the right to vote. It's what allowed women to fight through the ability to get the right to vote. Any challenges to that is a detriment to not just my people and my ancestors and my heritage, but to all women. I mean, we all need to maintain the integrity of our Constitution as well as the rule of law. And her opponent was in opposition to that. He wanted to be a dictator on day one. That's not what we fought for. That's not what people fought for, not what people died for. And so, to me, it's more about not her being a woman, but about her being willing and able to stand up and hold up the integrity of the Constitution of the United States of America and the rule of law.
Let's get back to New York State politics. Being reelected, what do you want to do differently? I mean, one of the things you have done, it's because of you, we have the marijuana legislation. Anything you want to see happen in New York State over the next 2 years?
Well, one of the things I'd like to see happen is that the resources that are being raised as a result of the legalization of adult use cannabis, I'd like to see that be used as it was intended. 40% of it to go into investing into the communities that have been negatively impacted as a result of the war on drugs. To go into research of where can this plant take us in terms of its medicinal value. And I like it to go to see how it can help law enforcement figure out, much like we had to do during the time when alcohol was legalized and they came up with a breathalyzer 10 years later, albeit, we need to figure out how we can determine whether people are impaired on the road as a result of using cannabis. And so I'd like to see those things happen. And that is going to be my focus in definitely the next year of the legislature.
You probably are not alone in thinking that. I've talked to a lot of people just driving down to 33 late at night, especially on a weekend, and we've seen the accidents. We don't know whether or not they were impaired by marijuana or not, but that has been a lingering question with a lot of people. What are we doing to make sure that these people are not impaired by marijuana that's causing death and destruction?
I will remind you that, the same marijuana that is now eligible to be purchased because it's legal for adult use is the same marijuana that has been able to be purchased for medicinal purposes. So hundreds of thousands of New Yorkers have been using it for at least the last almost 10 years. And so I don't think that you can just simply focus on the fact that now it's available for adult use. I think we have to focus on whether it impairs people's ability to drive, and if so, how much it does.
Finally, as we wrap up, once again, we know that you're going to be declaring victory because you don't have an opponent. So congratulations on that front. And just assure the people who voted for you that you're going to be here the next 2 years.
Thank you. I'm going to be here the next 2 years. Where am I going? This is the work I love. I have been serving my people, and they appreciate it, obviously, because otherwise I would have had an opponent. And I think that they're going to appreciate my next 2 years as well, and I appreciate them supporting me.
We can't forget about the Kensington Expressway and where that's going. We've seen a little bit of back and forth. Those who are for it, for changing it, bringing it back to the way it used to be when my mother was probably a young person here, and others who are like, just leave it alone. We can't reconnect and bring back what once was. Well, where do you feel this is going now?
Where we are right now, if you will remember, and your viewers will remember, there's civics lessons in 3rd and 4th grade. There's 3 levels of government: executive, legislative, and judicial. And right now it's in the judicial level of government. And everyone else has had their opportunity to weigh in, so now it's their turn to weigh in. I feel fully confident, though, that at the end of the day, all the decisions are going to be made right. And at some point, hopefully, some of the people that we are already preparing who live in the community to be workers on this project will be working by, I would say, hopefully spring of next year or maybe before. The best street phase of it is already set to go. The only thing holding it up right now is the court systems. So when the courts make their call, then we'll move forward with the rest of it.
Crystal Peoples-Stokes speaking with us here on WGRZ+. Crystal, as always, thank you so much. And if we need to catch up with you later on this evening, I know you'll be around for us.
I'll be back.
All right, we appreciate it.
Thank you so much, and God bless.
Thank you. That was Crystal Peoples-Stokes from the New York State Assembly. Long term, she does not have an opponent, so she can declare victory early right now. We talked about a lot of different topics, and of course, we will continue to speak with her as long as she's serving in the New York State Assembly. We'll send it back inside to you, Scott Mary Alice.
And as the Assemblywoman said, thank you, Claudine.